Okay, so there's always this conflict of pronunciation. How do you pronounce the name? How do you pronounce the word or something? Well, when it comes to Pokemon names, fortunately, we have the Pokédex 3D Pro, which pronounces all of the names the way they are supposed to have been pronounced, including Rayquaza. Yeah. Yeah, I've been pronouncing it wrong all this time. So, with that aside, I was going to go through a few things that seemed a little trivial sometimes, because people have different pronunciations for everything. Of course, there's the obvious ones like caramel. There's a fucking A in the word. Herb and herb, because there's a fucking H in there. Then we've got all sorts of things. Like, other character names, like Tifa, or is it Tifa, or is it Tifa, or is it Tifa, or even worse, how about, okay, what's a really good one that people seem to, screw up a lot? Is it Vincent Valentine, or is it Valentine? How about my Valentine? Okay, actually, that one's really not a debate. Probably not. No. See, I originally had something in mind because of a certain comment that a certain YouTuber mentioned in one of their own videos. I'll link to it when I can. And it got me thinking. There's got to be some sort of index or something somewhere where you can hear all of the appropriate pronunciations. And of course, we have a dictionary online that pronounce the words as they're supposed to be pronounced properly. But I don't believe there's such a thing that exists for fictional character names or things or other things. It's just, okay, you can see how it's pronounced, but you can't hear it. Those are two different things. And when it comes to accented letters like the E or any of the other nouns, how do you even pronounce them? There's multiple different ways, and people use them in names sometimes or places. It's even used mostly in other foreign dialogues. But mostly what I'm getting at is somehow, somewhere, someone has to make a video or something and just put this out there so people can hear it and get it right for fucking once. Because I'm sick of having to go through, and I'm not the only one about this. You take your time, you try to pronounce something, and then half the people you know pronounce it one way. Everybody else who's confident in what you think pronounces it the way you do. And it's like, oh hey, there's this ever-raging fucking fit of, like, words. Like, how do they work? Seriously, we need some sort of clarity on this. And, I mean, not just, like, fictional character names, but real places all over the place. That's, you know how complicated it is trying to get the name of a street right? Only to confuse your cab driver even further because you don't know how much difficulty there is for them to either understand English or to even understand what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, that can be difficult. Especially when there's no one else around and no actual fucking reference. Like the one that I don't actually believe exists at the moment. It should have years ago. Okay, so there's a few things. Gradius. I mean, that's a good example. I mean, which is which? Are they both appropriate, or is there only one definitive way to pronounce the name? Because you've got two. It's like two different words. You've got Gradius, which G-R-A-D. That's in both graduate and grade. So there's two ways to pronounce it, right? Or am I wrong? Come on, think about it. But those, I mean, it's, yeah, it's pronounced differently in different nations. I don't know that for a fact, but what's the definitive answer on that? How do you truly pronounce a word that everybody agrees on? I mean, sure, we've got names that don't make a lick of fucking sense because either people misinterpret them and they're supposed to be pronounced one way or another, like Rayquaza instead of Rayquaza. I mean, it also sometimes makes more sense to actually think about the name and how to pronounce it and how to sound it out and things like that. If you listen to how people pronounce words and then you see how it's spelled, it may or may not depend on the dialect, and sometimes they're just plain up fucking stupid for saying a word or name the way they've been saying it all this time, or there may have been some sort of like dialect thing that comes with it. That's especially prevalent in a lot of different languages that are not English. I'm not going to go into that because I don't want a shitstorm on me about how to, well, this video is kind of there to hey, how does this pronounce? Can you help me out here? Something. It's like sort of, just a thing where I go like, hey, yeah, so, it's like, does anybody know how certain things are pronounced? How do you sound out the accented letters in words or dialects, or just as they are, because that can be hard to do sometimes, if people don't really know. If people who really don't know, they read, like, accented E's and A's is just regular E's and A's, of course they're doing it wrong. They don't know any better. Or they're just being just really, really weird and off-putting. Or dumb, because I've seen my share, and it's kind of annoying. It's more than annoying, yes. Every time you try to correct them, they get offended, because, well, they're doing it wrong, and of course, when you know better, and you're still doing it wrong, well, you tend to piss off a lot of people. So, yeah. I guess that's about it. I don't really have much else to speak on in this topic, except, what do you think is the appropriate pronunciation of names or words that are difficult to pronounce for some people? Leave a comment. I want to know what you people think. I want to know what everybody thinks on this, because everybody has had this experience once or twice, and I'm pretty sure that everybody has something to say about it. Even the people deemed stupid. I mean, sure, they're not completely stupid, but when it comes to pronunciation, sometimes some people can feel that way. Like me. I've been saying Rayquaza for years, and then I realized, oh, it's wait, no. I've been saying Rayquaza for years, and now I'm saying Rayquaza, according to the Pokédex 3D Pro, because, well, they're the people who fucking made it, so of course they know what they're talking about. So who are we to debate on that?